Hi, welcome to Yoga with Kate. I'm Kate and today we are doing a nice gentle practice for beginners. So this sequence is really good if you're just starting out in yoga, if you're trying to get your fitness back, or if you haven't been doing yoga for a little while and you want a nice gentle practice to get you back into it. So we're going to do some nice warming up through the neck. We're going to strengthen through the core muscles. And we're going to just move our bodies, stretch out any tension, and hopefully you will feel amazing after this practice. So find yourself on your mat, get something nice and stretchy to move in, and when you're ready, we'll get started. So we'll begin with easy posture, just sitting on your mat in a cross-legged position. You may want a bolster underneath your hips if you're feeling a little bit tense in your lower back. So bringing your hands to your heart center and just set yourself an intention for your practice today. So whatever you're working on, whatever you want to breathe into your space, and make sure you breathe out anything that you don't need. And then send that energy up to the universe, letting go. Bringing the right hand down to your mat, extending the left up to the sky. Bend in through your right elbow and look underneath your left armpit. So nice side flexion to get our backs nice and bendy to start with. Then inhale, come back up, stretch up to the ceiling, and then left hand down, right hand stretch it up. Curve over to the side flexion, look underneath your right armpit. Bend into the left, keep your sit bones nice and grounded. Then inhale, bring your hands all the way up. Come into a twist, so left hand to your right knee, right hand behind your back. So twisting from the lower back to start with, and then gently look over your right shoulder. So you really want to feel that nice gentle twist in your middle back. And then breathe in, bring your hands all the way up. And then right hand over to your left knee. So your left hand's behind your spine. Pull in through the belly button. Really twist in the middle back. And then gently look over the left shoulder, nice and gentle with the neck to start with. Then inhale, bring your arms all the way back up to the ceiling. Bring your hands in front of you, interlace the fingers. Drop your chin. Draw your tummy back and get a really good stretch in your upper back. And then inhale, come back into center. Take your hands behind your lower back. Arch your back open through the shoulders. Take a nice back bend. Nice and gentle. Good. Come back into the center and we'll come back into cat-cow. So hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So starting off in cat-cow, arch your back, look up to the sky. Inhaling. And exhale, tuck your chin in, draw the shoulders up to the sky. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, tuck the chin in. Inhaling, arching your back. And exhale, tuck the chin in. So one more, inhaling, arching your back. Exhale, tuck the chin in. Good, so come into a neutral spine, bring your left knee into the center and take your right leg back and up. So stretching it back as far as you can. Drawing in the belly button. Okay, so exhale, bring your knee in towards your forehead. Then inhale, stretch your leg long. Again, exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, bring your knee to forehead. And inhale, looking up, stretching long. One more, exhale, come forward, knee to forehead, and inhale, stretch it back. Good. Knee back down, and switch it over to the other side. So left leg, stretch it back and long. And then exhale, knee to forehead. Inhaling, stretching long, looking up. Exhale, knee to forehead, curl in. Inhale, stretch long, look up, push the floor away from you with your hands, and exhale, knee to forehead. One more like this, inhaling, stretching long, looking up, And exhale, curl back in. Good, so take your knees out as wide as your mat. Send your hips back into child's pose. Stretch your hands forward on the mat. Take a nice big stretch here. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Just relax through the back. Then inhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Step back into plank. Pull the belly button up towards the spine. So avoid having your hips up and avoid dropping down, but try to keep your back nice and long, really strong in the back, in the tummy. Okay, so press your hips up to the sky for down dog, pressing your feet into the mat, pressing your fingertips into the mat as well. So take a nice deep breath here, pedal out your legs left and right, and just sway your hips from side to side. Then when you're ready, walk your feet up towards your hands, bend your knees a little bit, have your big toes together, and just allow your body to fall forward a little bit. So take a nice big deep breath here. And when you exhale, really relax down the back. So inhale, roll your spine back up to standing really slowly. And shoulders back and down for mountain pose. So grounding in through the heels, take a deep breath, shoulders back. Inhaling, hands come all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back into plank. So knees drop down, then chest and chin. And then inhale, glide through to baby cobra. Elbows tucked in. Tuck your feet, push back into down dog. And then walk your feet up towards your hands for forward bend. So feel free to bend your knees as much as you can, as much as you need to feel comfortable with this pose. And then roll your spine back up to standing, shoulders back and down. Good. So 2 more sun salutations. Inhaling, lifting all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands and step back into a plank. So drop your knees, then your chest and your chin. Glide through to baby cobra, shoulders back. Tuck your feet, push back down into down dog. And then walk your feet up towards your hands for forward bend. Exhale here, relax. Inhale, roll your spine all the way back up to standing. Mountain pose, shoulders back and down. Inhale, hands come all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands and step back into plank. So knees, then chest, then chin. And inhale, glide through to baby cobra. Good work. Push back into down dog. So from here, we're going to bring our right leg through to meet our hands. So you can just help it up if you need to, if that's feeling a bit tight in your hips. And then drop that left knee down. So coming into a low lunge. Come up onto your right knee, so your hands are on your right knee. Inhale, bring in your belly button and then sink into that hip a little bit. So you can really feel a good stretch down that left thigh. Draw your shoulders back a little bit and hold here. So see if you can relax the shoulders down. You can close your eyes and really think about the stretch, really feeling those hip flexors stretching out in that left hip bone, staying nice and strong in that right leg. Okay, so nice low lunge to balance out our hips. Then take your hands onto the inside of that right leg, and then take this right leg out to the side a little bit to give yourself space for your hands. So we're coming into lizard pose. So with that left leg, you can send that back a little bit further if you need. And then hang out here, so you might want to stay on your hands or come down onto your elbows. So lizard pose is a really good hip opener. You should probably feel a big stretch into your hips. So make yourself comfortable and stay up onto your fingertips if that's better for you. So find somewhere that you can breathe. and just allow the hips to stretch out in time. Okay, so inhaling, lifting. Pick up on that back right leg and step yourself back into a plank. And then when you're ready, send the hips up to the ceiling. Bend through the knees, stretch the chest towards the thighs. Take a big back stretch here. And then bring your left leg through to meet your hands, dropping the right knee to the floor. So into low lunge, plant the right toes down, and then inhale, come up onto that left knee. So you've got your hands on your left knee. The left foot is in line with that knee, or it's more forward, never behind. You don't want to put too much pressure on your knees. You want to make sure that that's nice and stacked, nice and strong and stable in that knee. Okay, so take a deep breath in, drop this hip down a little bit so you can really feel that stretch into this right psoas. It might feel a little bit tight if you've been sitting at a desk or driving a lot, so be patient with yourself, be kind. So one more deep breath here. Pull the belly button in, and you can arch your back a little bit as well. Okay, come forward, bring your hands onto the inside of that leg and take that left leg out to the side a little bit. So you're making space for your hands. So this is lizard pose. You can bring up your right knee, send it back a little bit further. Take a deep breath in, pull in your belly button and see if you can drop the right hip down towards the floor. So you're keeping nice and long in your back. Whether you need to be up on your fingertips or down onto your hands or onto your elbows, find what feels comfortable for you. And see if you can just breathe out any tension. It's a really, really good stretch for our hips. So be patient, breathe, 2 more. All right, good. So pick up on your hands and then bring your hands around the front leg. So pick up onto your toes on the right foot and then step yourself into down dog and pedal out your legs left and right here. So your legs might be feeling a lot more flexible now. Take a big deep breath in. And when you exhale, just try to relax a little bit more. Walk your feet up towards your hands, coming into forward bend. So big toes touching, bend your knees a little bit, allow your tummy to come down onto your thighs. Allow your neck to really loosen. Just look left and right. Allow any stress to just fall out of your head. Okay, take 2 more big deep breaths here, allowing the weight to come forward over your toes. And just gently trying to press your knees back a little bit. Pulling in the belly button, allowing the shoulders to relax. And then sink the hips down as if you're sitting into a chair, so you're pressing your thighs together. So coming into chair pose, we lift our hands up, straightening through the elbows, reaching up high. So your hands are reaching up really high and you're sinking down with the hips, pressing your legs together. So it's a really good strengthening pose. You really feel it in your thighs. Pull in your belly button, try to tuck the tailbone under. Keep your chin tucked in, reach up higher. Good, hands to your heart center and lift back up to standing. So inhale, bring your hands all the way up high, stretch up, and then exhale, come back to forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift, look up, plant your hands and step back into plank. So we're coming down to the floor for cobra pose. Bring your elbows into side of the body and coming down onto your tummy. So hands underneath your shoulders, elbows tucked in. Bring your feet together and press the hip bones into the floor. So when you're ready, inhaling, lifting up, arching through the back. Keep your elbows really tucked in for this one. So you're really just using your back muscles here. So nothing on your hands just yet. So you're really isolating your back muscles. Then step your hands back so that they're nearly touching your rib cage. And then you can press up a little bit so you can get a nice back bend. Make sure the elbows aren't coming out to the sides, but they're staying in line with your body. And then look up just a little bit. Don't overextend, but just looking up a little bit. Take a deep breath here and then exhale, come back down. Hands underneath your head. Take a nice deep breath here. So taking a deep breath here, push yourself back into child's pose. Stretch your back. Then inhale, lifting up. Bring your knees forward and then sitting back down onto your hips. Bring your feet forward. So take your feet out nice and wide as the mat, and just windscreen wipe your knees side to side so that you're getting a nice little massage on your lower back into your glutes. It's a really good prep pose for pigeon pose, our next one. So bring your feet together, take your left leg and cross it over in front of you. Then send the right leg back and then bring it into the middle of your mat. So planting the toe down. So come into the middle of your hips. So you're trying to rotate this right hip down towards the floor. So that might feel pretty tight in that left hip bone. It's a really good pose for sciatica, so just take your time in this one, be really gentle. With this left foot, try to take the toes back towards the knee. So you're flexing through the left foot to try to keep your knee nice and healthy, nice and safe. And then inhale, arch your back a little bit here. So keep guiding the right hip bone down to the floor so you can feel a really good stretch in your tummy. And take a deep breath here. And then when you're ready, walk your hands down towards the floor for sleeping swan. So allow your shoulders to really relax. Just breathe out any tension that you might be feeling in your hips. Just see if you can contract the muscles a little bit and then maybe relax. And take one more big deep breath here. So your next inhale, coming back up, arching your back again, placing the hands beside you. And then exhale, come off onto that left hip, bring the right leg forward and then cross it over. So we're just switching sides here. Cross over your right leg and send the left leg back. So bringing that left leg into the center of your mat and then bringing the right toes back towards the right knee. So pigeon pose, set up and sink down. So sinking the left hip down towards the mat, arching through the back. Take a deep breath in, pull in the belly button and drop the shoulders down. So take a nice deep breath here. Try to feel really steady in your hips. And then when you're ready, walk your hands down to the mat for sleeping swan. So taking 3 deep breaths here, relax the shoulders. And just keep trying to encourage the hip muscles to really relax. And then when you're ready, lifting back up, arching your back, opening through the chest. And exhale, come off onto the right hip, bring the left leg forward, and then bring your knees in a line. So your knees are in line with your hips and your feet are in line with your knees. Turn your big toes in just slightly, and then use your arms, lay yourself back down onto the mat. Camel pose. So when you're ready, inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky, roll your shoulders underneath you and interlace your fingers underneath you. So really squeeze through the glutes to lift you up, arch through the middle back, bringing the belly button towards the spine and keep pushing up from your middle back. Engage your inner thighs so that your knees aren't going out wide, but they're staying in a line. And breathe here. Okay, undo your hands and roll your spine back down onto the mat. Good work. Bring in your right knee, extend your left leg down onto the floor. Just take a nice deep stretch here. Allow your shoulders to really relax. Try to keep your chin tucked down and the back of your neck nice and long. Bring in your left leg, hug it in, and extend your right leg down onto the floor. So you should feel a nice stretch down that right hip flexor. Try to keep your right knee down towards the floor. If it's tight, you might be bending it up a little bit, but in time it'll stretch out for you. So take another deep breath here, allow your body to really relax. And then we're going to take this left knee and cross it over our tummies into a reclining twist. So you're twisting over your left knee towards the floor, but look over to your left hand. So extend that left arm out like a T shape and try to encourage the left shoulder to go down towards the floor. So you're getting that full twist in your spine. And then inhale, looking back towards the sky, bring the left leg in towards your chest, bring in your right knee. And then extend the left leg down towards the floor. We're going to take the left hand towards the right knee and then bring it across the... So take out your right hand like a T shape and look over to your right hand. So reclining twist. So basically you're trying to get your hips nice and vertical and your shoulders horizontal, so that it's twisting your whole spine. It's really good for the lower back and amazing for your shoulders. So just allow the body to really melt into the floor. Take one more big deep breath. And then inhale, bring your knees back up to your chest. Give yourself a little hug, be proud of yourself today. And then extend your legs one at a time down to the floor for Shavasana pose, our final meditation pose. So make yourself really comfortable here. Just loosen off through the legs. Allow the feet to go out to the side. Allow the shoulders to melt back into the floor. And just scan your back. Make sure there's no muscles sort of hanging on, that you can just allow yourself to really relax. You may want to draw your shoulders down from your ears just a little bit more. And then relax the muscles in your face, so around your eyes, relax your jaw. And then bring your awareness back to the breath. So taking a full deep breath in, exhaling, pushing all the air out, completely deflate. Just allowing the body, the mind to be really still. Then inhale, bring your hands up above your head. Allow the elbows to come out to the side. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a nice little hug. Bring your knees over to your right side. Push the floor away from you and come up to sitting nice and gently. So just give yourself a moment to wake up really gently. Bring your hands to your heart center. And just take a moment to be really grateful for your body, to appreciate all that you have. Well done for practicing. I'm glad that you came along and you finished the class with me today. Namaste. So I hope that you found these postures really helpful for your body. I hope that you managed to release some tension, and I hope that you feel amazing right now. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you at the next video. Namaste.